Hi, my name is Den. Welcome to my channel. This is an acoustic guitar worship tutorial for the song Sweetly Broken by Jeremy Riddle. This video is actually one of 3 videos that I'm making for this song. I have another video where I show you how to play this using B-shaped chords, which matches the original recording of the song. And then I have another video where I show you how to play this song using G-shaped chords. And then in this video, I'm showing you how to play this using C-shaped chords. So let's get into the song. So let's talk the chords for the song. In the key of C, the first chord we're going to have is the C chord. So that's 5 strings we're playing there. So that's 3rd fret A string, 2nd fret on the D string, open on the G, 1st fret on the B string, and then open on the E string. I typically let my thumb lightly rest on the thick E string, just in case I accidentally hit it, it's not going to ring out. You could also play a C over G. To play a C over G, you would take your ring finger and move it up 1 string to the thick E string on the 3rd fret, and take your pinky on to the 3rd fret of the A string. Then you can play all 6 strings. The next chord is a G chord, and I typically play it with my third finger on the thick E string of the 3rd fret and my pinky on the skinny E string on the 3rd fret. And then I usually put my index finger on the 1st fret on the B string, which technically it's a G suspended. The next chord is an A minor. And instead of playing the traditional A minor like this, I will usually play my pinky on the 3rd fret of the E string and lift up my 3rd finger off of the G string. So that G is kind of ringing. You can also mute it if you want to with your 2nd finger. And then you have F. Now you may have learned an F like this where you bar the whole thing. I typically tend to play it like this. You can either hook your thumb over the top or just let your thumb lightly touch the E string and then just play the 5 strings or the 4 strings. And my first finger is usually lightly muting the skinny E string on there. So it doesn't normally ring. You can hear that kind of, I've got it muted. You could play that 1st fret also, and you have to bar it with your 1st finger, both the B and the E strings, but that's a little bit more challenging, so I don't normally do that. But there's the F chord. Later on in the song there's a D minor, which you can play 1st fret B, 2nd fret G, and then play these 3 strings. Technically that's probably a D7, but I call it a D minor. If you want to play a real D minor 7, you're going to bar the first 2 strings on the 1st fret and play your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and then play those 4 strings. So either one of those would work. So let's talk the rhythm or strum pattern for the song. First of all, the song has a really percussive type of strumming pattern to it. It sounds something like this. So let's break that down. First of all, you want to put a heavy emphasis on beat 1, the and after 2, and then beat 4. So it would sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And so if you count that out using 16th notes, it would sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now typically after the loud down strum, I don't actually hit the strum by habit, I think, on the way up right after that, so it sounds more like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you're going to start out with a C chord, if you have a couple different options here. First of all, you can let the chords just ring out, or you can try muting them with the meaty part of your palm, letting it rest lightly on the bridge. So it would sound like this if you do not do any muting. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you want to do the muting part, it would sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so I just have my palm kind of muting some of the strings. It's barely resting right on that bridge. I look. Another thing you can do if you're going to do the percussive type rhythm is to try doing some hammer-ons and pull-offs on the chords. So for instance, here's your C chord, but at any time you can try to do a hammer-on on the D string 2nd fret using your 2nd finger. If you have the C chord formed like this, your 2nd finger can hammer on right after you do a down strum. You can also pull off. So I'm just hammering on and then pulling off. When you pull off, just pull slightly downward. Same thing on the G chord. When you're playing your G like this, you can hammer on that same note. And on the A minor as well. Hammer on. And then when you're doing the F, the hammer-on pull-off note is actually on the G string, but it's the same finger, 2nd finger, and it's the 2nd fret, or pull-off. And sometimes I'll even play my F without that 2nd finger down. It's like a F2 suspended or something like that. So if you do that with the percussive part, it would sound like this. Here's the C chord. And so I'm kind of hammering on after some of those loud down strums. And the same thing on the G chord. And then the A minor. Also on the C over G, you could technically hammer on all 3 of those strings. So if you don't have anybody else playing like bass guitar or something, you could do that. Another thing that I tend to do on these chords, you'll notice that I'm constantly squeezing my hand and then releasing the tension on the strings. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I'm kind of trying to over-exaggerate a little bit, but you'll constantly see my hand doing this. I'm just kind of pushing down harder than releasing some to help with the muting of the strings. But you don't have to do that. It's just something I noticed that I was doing after a while, so you can do it if you would like to. So for the verse, the 4 chords are C, and then G, A minor, or A minor 7, and then F. And sometimes I'll play it without my 2nd finger down. And so it would be like this: C chord, to the cross I look, to the cross I cling. That's a G. Of its suffering I do dream. That's A minor. Of its work I do sing. So that's an F. My Savior, let's see, both bruised and crushed. So that's G. Show that God is love. So that's A minor. And God is just. And that's F. Oh yeah. And then you go into the chorus. So for the chorus, it's going to start out on a C chord. At the cross you beckon me, A minor, draw me gently to my knees, and I am G, lost for words, so lost in love, I'm F, So C, and then A minor, and then G, and then F, and then you go into verse number 2. So after verse 1 and chorus, then you repeat the verse and the chorus, and then you go into another chorus, and then you go into the bridge. So let's talk about the bridge. First of all, to end the chorus going into the bridge, you're going to go into a D minor. So the last line of your chorus is sweetly broken, wholly surrendered, and then you go into a D minor. And on the bridge, I tend to do just straight down strums. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and those are just eighth notes. So it'd be a D minor. Of the cross I must confess. F. How wondrous your redeeming. That's D minor. And how great. That's F. Faithfulness. G. And then C to get back into the chorus. So let me play the end of a chorus, go into the bridge, and then come out of the bridge just so you can see how that all fits together. Sweetly broken, wholly surrendered, all of the cross I must confess. How wondrous your redeeming love, and how great is your faithfulness. At the cross you beckon me, draw me gently to my knees, and I am lost for words, so lost in love. I'm sweetly broken, wholly surrendered. And you can go into another chorus after that. So for the down chorus, if you want to, you can do some picking. Something like that. So it's just the bass note of whatever chord you're on. So on a C chord, that's the 5th string. And then play the G string, B string, and then play that again. And then play the G string again. Or something like that, just to get the fit in there. Sometimes I'll do it with my pick and my fingers, so it'll be like this. And then A minor. G. And then by this time I'm starting to build back up, so on the F chord I'll actually go back to 8th notes or the next strum pattern to get me into the chorus. But that's kind of the picking that I'm doing on there, or you can just really lightly just kind of strum your chords as well. So for the last chorus I would probably just play it really loud and not do the percussive type strumming. Don't do that. Instead I would probably just do full open strums. And across you beckon me, draw me gently to my knees, and I am lost for words, so lost in love. I'm sweetly broken, wholly surrendered. Yeah, I'm so lost for words. And just kind of end the song by playing the outro. It's the same chords as the chorus. Yeah, I'm sweetly broken. And then you end the song. So that's the song Sweetly Broken by Jeremy Riddle using C-shaped chords. Once again, if you want to learn this, I'm using B-shaped chords. Then go ahead and find that video on my channel. And if you want to use G-shaped chords, I've got a video on showing you how to play it using G-shaped chords as well. If this video was helpful and to you, if you got something out of it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. If you want to stay up to date on my channel, hit the subscribe button and have a great day.